Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 46 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I just realized I'm completely out of diamonds. Holy cow, that was last episode. I guess I burned through the last of those. And I'm really low on copper. I've got a little bit of other stuff. Dude, I'm almost out of gold? Wow. I need to go and get my quarry going again, but I don't know. I kind of feel like quarries are boring and slow. So I want to come up with something new here. But to assist me with that, I have a friend here along with me. What's up, Muggs?
Hello.
So anybody who wasn't following along on Twitter or, in some of my videos about the Minecraft Marathon, one of the things I auctioned off during the Minecraft Marathon was the ability to join in an episode of the Let's Play series. For just one episode, Muggs is going to be here hanging out with me, and we're going to work on a project together. So Muggs was kind enough to donate a whole ton of money, like a ridiculous amount. What was it, $1,600, Muggs?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, which was an incredibly generous donation to the Child's Play charity. So that was Minecraft Marathon weekend. So he is going to be here, like I said, for this episode, and we're going to build some cool stuff. So I have a pretty neat idea on something I want to do, Muggs. Something that's going to, I think, be one of my fastest mining machines yet. I've come up with something. It's going to be a little complicated, but, that's okay. And it's going to be a little probably powerful, but again, that's okay. But I think it'll be a lot of fun to build. So, what do you say we get started? I'm going to need a couple things to demonstrate what I want to do. It's going to involve frames, which I don't think I've gotten to at all yet in this season. So those of you new to the Let's Play series, you're going to see about frames, how they work, and then we're going to get into some of the ways we can use them for nifty combinations between mods. So let's get started. And this may take more than a full episode, but one of the things I also need to do is create a Mystcraft age to mine in, because I don't want to mine out the overworld anymore. Also, because we've got some new world gen that came with extra bees, so I want to make sure that we're in an age that has like all that world gen in it. So we need to create a new age basically, and that way we'll be sure we have the new world gen. It's a good way to get around. Whenever you have add a new mod that adds world gen, you're not going to have all those new items in the ground unless you go explore new terrain or create a new age. Luckily, creating a new age is pretty easy. So we'll be back in a few minutes here. I want to get a couple items. Let's create the age first. Does that sound like a good plan, Muggs?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, I am back. Muggs, you can go ahead and grab a linking book if you want. Well, I guess you don't need one, but there's one in there just in case you need to. We want to create an age. Basically, what we're looking to do here is create a nice age for mining in. So, what I need to do in order to create an age is start interfacing with this block right here. We need to work with this guy, and then we have to work with this guy. So here's what we need to do. Alright, first off, the best way to do this really, just to make things nice and easy, is create yourself a new notebook. So I've created a bunch of these in the past, and you've kind of seen how that works. What I'm going to do is place the notebook inside this table right here, the writing desk, and I'm going to start writing pages into the notebook. And anytime I create a new page, it'll go straight into the notebook, and then we can be sure that all the pages are in the right order and all the pages are all set, and then hopefully we'll create a stable age. You guys have seen me create a bunch of random ages already, and they've all been unstable. If you don't write your ages correctly, they will become unstable. However, if you do a good job and you write things correctly and you have the right amount of different settings and stuff, you'll come up with a nice stable age that won't break down on you. So we definitely want to stick with that. So I've got my notebook here. What do you think, Muggs? I'm going to go with, I definitely want a single biome. But I think I want a plains biome. So let me figure out exactly what kind of age we're going to want. But we're going to want different stuff. Like, I don't need any of that. We're going to definitely want maybe some cool stuff with the stars and whatnot. We'll see if we can come up with something really neat. But let me come together with a plan on exactly what kind of age I want to make, and then we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so the Muggs came up with a good plan. He said, why don't you go with an extreme hills or an extreme hills edge biome, because those are the ones that typically have emerald ores. And I said, you know what, that's a really good idea. So I think I'm going to do that. I don't have the extreme hills biome, but I do have extreme hills edge. So that's what I'm going to use as my biome controller. So here's how you write your book. basically you want to think of the way you'd form a sentence where you have adjectives in front of nouns, right? So you would say like, red sky color. That's the same way we're going to write our books. So if we want to have the Extreme Hills Edge biome, we put that in first by right-clicking. And what that does is it makes a copy of it using some of the ink and one of the pieces of papers up there. So we've just made a copy of the Extreme Hills Edge biome symbol, and we placed it in the notebook. Cool. Now I'm going to put a single biome in here, right like that. Nice. So what this is going to do, and I'm going to take out my notebook here just to demonstrate it for you guys, you can see that you've got Extreme Hills Edge, and then you've got single biome. So the way that's written is it's saying we're making one biome age, and that biome will be Extreme Hills Edge. Now if you try to add other biomes to it, you're going to add instability because you said it's a single biome, so don't do that. But otherwise, we're in pretty good shape. So now that I've got my biome picked out, let's see what's other stuff we can get in here. Blocks, I'm not going to worry about doing anything with blocks. Celestial, I definitely want to do something with that. What I'd like to do here, let's see, I've got some dark stuff, eternal snow, fast weather, normal moon. I'm going to put a normal moon here, okay, that's going to be fine. Normal stars, that should also be good. I actually want to go with 2 suns, and let's do this. Slow weather? I don't know if I have normal weather, do I? I have fast weather. Let's do fast weather. Sure, why not? We'll see what happens. But for normal sun, I actually want to do 2 suns. So let's go to our modifiers down here, okay? And I'm going to have a rising sun, okay? So that's one that starts like at dawn. So rising, normal sun. And then I'm going to have a setting, normal sun. And for fun, let's maybe even just do a noon, normal sun, okay? So that should have 3 suns, and they'll start at setting, noon, and rising. That sound like a good plan? And then what kind of sky color do I want? How about, let's go with a cyan sky color. That sound cool? And what kind of world mods do we want? Caves, charged. We could have some caves, that should be fine. Don't want flat, though flat might be kind of neat, but I think I'm going to hold off for now. I don't think I want that. We'll definitely have some lakes. Mine shafts will be good. Don't need obelisks or scorched surface. We do want standard lighting. I think that's going to be an important symbol for us. And standard terrain is also important. And sure, why not villages? Alright, I think that's a decent book. I hope I didn't miss anything. Did I miss anything, Mugs?
Don't think so, no.
No. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to put... spacing really doesn't matter in here. It's just the order that matters. So I'm going to have like my standard lighting and my standard terrain and villages and mine shafts and lakes and caves, all that stuff down there. But I'm going to space it out just so you guys can see what's up. So I've got a cyan sky color. So the sky color will be cyan. Cool. And watch out behind you because I don't have a door on this house. So why don't we close this up just in case creepers decide to sneak in. Alright, so we've got cyan sky color, and we've got a sun that starts at the noon position, we've got a sun that starts at the setting position, and then we've got a sun that starts at the rising position, okay? And then we've got fast weather, normal stars, normal moon, that stuff's all fine. None of that modifies each other, and then we've got the Extreme Hills Edge biome. Now, in order to transfer all these guys in here, we just have to open up our bookbinder and just click in there with our notebook, and that'll transfer all the pages out of the notebook in the order they were in. So Extreme Hills, single biome, normal moon, normal stars, fast weather, etc., etc. And you can kind of see that in there. And now we've got our descriptive book. And we're going to call this Mining Age 1. Cool. And I think we're good to go here, Mugs. So I've got my first, I'm going to get rid of the first age. I don't need that there anymore. And I'm going to put Mining Age 1 there. And I'll store the first age in there. Alright, so pre-travel check. Do we have, I'm going to actually store in here also my notebook. There we go. Do we have a link book? Yes, to the overworld. So we're good with that. I think I should craft myself real quick. Maybe it's the other way. There we go. A book stand, so we can travel back easily. What do you say? Should we go check it out?
Yeah, let's go. But
Alright, YouTube, we will be back in just a few minutes once we travel to the mining age and let that world gen happen. Here goes nothing.
Free.
Look at that. So here we go. We've got the setting and the rising sun. We've got the cyan sky color, and we've got a noon sun. Now, none of these were set to 0 length, so they will move across the sky. But one's going to be setting, one's going to be rising, one's going to be at the noon position. We've basically got 3 suns here. And we do have the extreme hills going on, which is kind of cool. Look at this place. This is awesome. But I've got particle effects. That's not good. What do I have on here? Weakness.
Weakness.
Why did I get instability? I thought I wrote my age pretty cleanly. I must have forgotten something. What did I forget? I gave it a moon symbol, I gave it stars, standard terrain. My oh my. We might want to rewrite this age. I don't know. Weakness isn't the end of the world, but I don't know at all what's going to happen. Man, that's such a cool sky color though. Cyan is awesome. This doesn't look like a terribly bad age either. I mean, there's hills and stuff, but that's okay. I don't mind some hills. Especially the way I plan to be mining. I could probably just start at the top of one of these hills and then hopefully wouldn't run into any other ones as I proceed across the terrain, making a huge, huge mess. Wahaha.
Yeah, as long as there's no decay or anything, the weakness is fine.
Weakness isn't bad as long as there's no decay. Though I'd really like to know what symbol I missed, because it should be stable. Alright, let me review the book that I made, and I will be back, guys.
Did you add fog?
I don't think I need to add that.
Okay. Not quite sure on all that yet.
Yeah. Let me travel back to the overworld. We'll be back in a second once we figure out what we did wrong. And maybe either create a new age or stick with that one, because like Mug said, weakness isn't too bad. Alright guys, we are back. Made a new age. This one might look surprisingly similar to the old age, but it shouldn't be surprising because we made it almost the exact same thing. Am I hearing lightning?
I think this is charged.
This might be a charged age, huh? I don't know why I'm getting instability. I made it pretty similar. As far as I know, this should work. I do like the 2 suns though, that's pretty neat. This might be a charged age. Oh, nice. We got one of those giant trees from Extra Biomes in the background here. Those trees.
There's also a great wood tree with spider webs on it over here.
Uh-oh. I hate those. Aw, nothing cool. Alright, so this age is charged, huh? That's not the end of the world, but... Oh yeah, look at that. I don't want charged. Charged means it's always going to have lightning, which is scary. I don't know, I'm thinking weakness might be alright. Maybe we'll head back. Alright guys, so we need to make a red power gadget, and it's going to need some electricity. So I sent Muggs off to make a few solar panels for me, and while he's getting those put together, you guys have seen me make solar panels, so I figured he could work on that, while I'm showing you guys how to make a frame motor. Now, frame motors are one of the coolest parts of red power. It allows you to make some really crazy machines. The recipe is not bad. We're going to need some fine copper wire, though, to make some of the copper coils that are part of the frame motor, and unfortunately those things require a diamond draw plate, which I haven't made yet this episode or this season. That's going to require a diamond panel and 4 iron panel strips. And I'm going to show you guys how to make that right now. Now, in order to make a diamond panel, I'm going to need to cut it up a diamond block with a diamond handsaw. But I don't have enough diamonds. So, we're going to go ahead and make diamonds out of UU matter. I do have a bit of this stuff laying around. I could probably get a few more, but here goes nothing. Nice. And that'll get me 16 diamonds. That should hold me over for what I'm going to need the next few episodes. We'll see. So there we go. Got myself a diamond block. Now, the good news about this is we can actually recoup some of our diamonds. So like I said, we're going to need 1 diamond panel. Well, if we put the diamond panels that we don't need back in the project table, we can get back out some of the diamonds. You can see I got 6 diamonds out of that. This would have given me an 8th. So you lose 1 diamond overall when you've cut it up and then try and reclaim it. But hey, at least we get some back. So that's good. And then we're going to need those iron panel strips. So in order to get those is real easy, just like this. So iron panel, and then we cut it into strips like that. Cool. And then we can get some iron back there too. Nice. So we've got our iron panel strips, and we've got our diamond panel. Nice, diamond draw plate. Now that is a really useful tool. It's going to be allowing us to make a few things. For some of this, I'm going to need some copper, because your copper coils, like I showed you, are just copper with diamond draw plate. Now, like the saw, it just takes damage as it crafts. So I'm missing something here. What I do wrong? Hang on.
That's brass.
Is it brass that I put in there? I thought it was, no,
Yeah.
fine copper wire is copper.
No, you're using
Oh,
brass.
I put brass
though.
in. Ha!
I need the saw too.
Oh, you do? Yeah, I'll hook you up. Nice.
Thank you.
Brass and copper look too similar. Alright, so let's get, I think 32 of those will work. We'll see. Might need more later, but for now, that'll do. And then what was the recipe on that thing again? Okay, in the corners. And then this guy. And then this. And that gets us our copper coils. So I'm going to get, I don't know, about 8 of these for now. Might as well just use it all up. And then 2 copper coils, some blue alloy, and some iron will get me what I need by way of blue electric motors. Nice. And then finally, to make a frame machine, it's some brass, the blue electric motor, and some more of this blue alloy stuff. Cool, frame motors, nice. Now frames are pretty cool. Now I'm not going to make a traditional frame machine. This is going to be a completely new design, and I think it's going to be a lot more efficient than some of the stuff I've made in the past, both from a power use perspective and a speed perspective. This is going to be like a little ridiculous with its speed, but it should be fun. So now that I've got a frame motor and I've got some brass, why don't I show you guys what frames are all about? And of course it's still raining outside, which is lovely, but I'll live. Probably going to need a lot more wood. We need a lot of sticks for our frame machines, because it's simply, 8 sticks surrounded by a piece of brass gets you a frame. And I think I should probably write that down somewhere. Where are my blank things? I think I've got a few over in the B room. How are you making out, Mugs?
Just waiting for the silicone to cook.
Cool.
The wafers.
Oh good, I do have some blank plans. Oh, nice, it stopped raining. About to be nighttime, though, but that's okay. I made Mugs a bed. There we go. Frames. Now, of course, frames are a little expensive, but, it's mostly just wood and a bit of brass. No big deal. So I'm going to make as many as I can for now, and I'll go get some more wood. But in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how frame motors work. We're probably also going to want a battery box and a couple other things. So why don't I get those guys set up, and then we'll be back in a minute to check it all out. Alright guys, so while Muggs is finishing up those solar panels, I made a battery box because we're going to need that. And I've got my frame motors and support frames, and I even grabbed a battery to charge up in my little, battery box that I have inside. This way I can power the battery box outside really easily, just to demonstrate how this works. So Muggs, if you have a minute, let's sleep through this night real fast. I'm sleeping in your bed, so you can sleep in mine.
Okay.
Alright Muggs, so what do you know about frames?
They get pushed, and they will stick to anything you tell them not to.
Cool, you got it. Yep. So frames are basically a nifty machine. So we've got a frame motor, which is one of the first pieces you're going to need, and then frames. You'll notice the frame motor, one of the sides of this frame motor has an arrow on it. That's the side that's going to connect to all the frames, and it's what's going to move the items. In order to switch that around, you can use a screwdriver, which is pretty much in here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so the screwdriver, shift right click, changes the side of the block that has the arrow on it. So we can see now the arrow is facing towards Muggs. Now it's, shift right click here changes the side that has the arrow. So eventually we'll get it back up to the top. Without holding shift and right clicking changes the direction of the arrow. And what's going to happen is this block can move anything when it receives a redstone signal. It just needs a little bit of power. So let's put down a battery box with a little hookup there. Now for power and redstone signal, real easy. I'm just going to get a button just to demonstrate this. So we've got power and we've got a redstone signal ready. So if I put a piece of cobblestone, for example, on here, the frame motor can move the cobblestone. No problem. Nice. So basically, any block that's facing or touching the face that has the arrow on it, when it receives a redstone signal, it'll move it. Cool. Now, if we put another piece of cobble here, it's not going to move. The reason for that is this piece of cobble right here is in the way. So this thing can no longer work because this guy's in the way. Not a big deal, though. That's not the main cool part about frames. The cool part is actually this block here called a support frame. Now, what this guy does is when he moves, okay, he can move any block that's adjacent to it, including other frames. So we've got this frame sitting right here. Once this receives a redstone signal, this one was moved, and it moves any block adjacent or touching it, which included this frame. Cool. That includes cobblestone, for example. So if we put this guy down and we hit the redstone signal, boom, the cobblestone is moved along with the frames. Nice. This includes anything. This includes tile entities. It includes, pretty much anything that you can think of. So for example, grab ourselves a chest real quick. Okay. And I'll put a prized possession in there. My diamond handsaw. Expensive. Okay, I'll even put some of that stuff. Okay, the frame motors can easily move the chest. How cool is that? Nice, right? So that is what's awesome about frames. And you can build some really complex and complicated machines using these guys. And that's pretty much what our goal is today, probably between this episode and next. And maybe I'll just have Mugs hang around until this project's done. So you might be in 2 episodes here, Mugs. But hey, for all the money you donated to charity, I think that's perfectly acceptable. I'd feel weird if you only hung out for 1 episode and we didn't finish the project we got to, right?
Yeah.
Also, you'll note that the battery box still retains a little bit of its charge. The battery boxes in Red Power 2 can, once you break them, retain their charge, so that's good. So we've got our frame motors. We've got a nifty way to build something that moves, or can move other things. Oh, thank you, sir. Now, what did we want to do to, clear terrain? Well, for that, we're going to need to get something from Buildcraft, of all places. I'm going to make a little machine. I actually need a tesseract and 1 or 2 other things. So why don't I get set up, and I'll be back in a few once we've got a tesseract ready. Alright guys, so we're back and we're ready to craft something cool. This machine right here that I'm crafting, you've seen me craft before, but I've never actually used it in the world to demonstrate how it works. It's called the mining well. It's a pretty awesome little device. Now the way this thing works, and we're going to go outside to demonstrate it, but I don't want to be right next to my house. Let's go a little bit of a distance. Let's go to our mining age. That sounds like a good plan. Okay. And then we'll demonstrate this in the actual age that we're going to be in when we start building this machine. Such a cool place. Oh look, we've got 2 suns in the sky. That's awesome. Alright, so let's just plant it right here. Now the mining well is a really nice machine, okay? But there's a couple caveats and a couple issues we're going to run into. It's not going to be as easy as you think to make this happen. And I'm really not liking having these little particle effects around me all the time. So I don't know if we're going to use this age or not. I'm already getting annoyed. Weakness is not good. Alright, so we've got a mining well, okay? So what does this guy do? Actually, I'm going to pick him up and just move him 1 block above. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay. So the mining well is really a neat device. Now, what we need to do is, first off, we need a chest. So it's a good thing I had one. Okay. You want a chest or some kind of inventory storage to be next to your mining well, because like a quarry, it's going to clear out some terrain under it, and it's automatically going to jump to an adjacent inventory, like a chest or a pipe or something like that. Okay. All we got to do to get this guy to run is place down our tesseract, and we're going to hook it up to the main power. We're going to set it to receiving, and hit the checkbox to set frequency. You ready? Don't blink, because you might miss this. Boom. It's done. It just burrowed straight down to bedrock. The reason for this is the mining machine, this guy right here, the mining well, is not really, it was meant to be run on kind of a low power source, but tesseracts and redstone energy cells just allow massive amounts of power to dump into this thing. Like, it just got massive amounts of Minecraft joules. Now, it only digs 1 block down, though, like in a 1 block radius. So it went straight down to bedrock, and you can see it collected all the dirt and cobble and aluminum ore and gravel that it found along the way. Cool. So that's step 1, okay? Now, when I break this guy, he's nice enough to clear out that big pipe. And if we look straight down, we can see we've pretty much hit bedrock down there. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Now, it will get stuck if it runs into water or lava, but that's not too big a deal for our purposes. Now, why don't we move this thing and try something a little different? So let's try and combine what we learned about frames with what we know about mining wells. It would be really cool if we could move this mining well around the map, right? Yes and no, because it's going to be a little tricky to make it work, but don't worry, I've already come up with a pretty good solution. I just need my screwdriver here, which I think I put back in my bag. There we go. Nice. So let's pretend that we've got this mining well set up, and we're going to, push it along here. And we could even have a couple things. So, for example, I've got my mining well, I've got my energy tesseract, and I've got the chest to store it in, right? So we've got a mining well, we've got an energy tesseract, and we've got a chest. Okay. Now, is this guy going to remember its settings? No, it's not. Good. I didn't want it to mine yet. Okay, now this will work, actually, rather well. I've got my battery box here. And you can see it's already retained its power, remember, but I'm going to throw some more in there with the blue trick battery I brought along with me. Now we're in good shape. Okay. I'm going to have to move your solar panel here.
Oh.
So let's see if everything, first off, moves on frames. It should. Let's see what happens. Ta-da! It did! Hooray! So we can actually use this stuff together. So we can move the tesseract, we can move the mining well, and we can even move the chest. Awesome. Well, let's see what happens. First off, I'm going to activate this guy. So, main power, activate. Boom! And the mining well should have dug straight down. And there we go. It just finished. And it finished up. It grabbed a bunch of resources for us, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's try moving this thing again. Remember, we're going to need another frame. Like so. Alright, here goes nothing. Moving it. Well, that's a bad sign, first off. It didn't clear out the mining pipe. It left it behind. Also, it's still receiving power, but the mining well's not mining. Well, that's a problem. The mining well does not react to being moved too well. It's not a happy camper. It still thinks it's done, and it doesn't realize, hey, I've been moved. I can mine again. It doesn't realize that. It's like, nope, I'm done. I finished mining. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to break me and place me down again. Oh, now it worked. Okay, cool. So if we combine what we learned here, we could probably come up with a good way and an automated way to break and replace that mining well and then move the frame motors properly. So this is a proof of concept, Mugs. I think we've come up with something pretty interesting here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Mugs was just saying to me off camera, he's like, I have no idea what you're building.
I'm starting to understand now.
Yeah, looks cool, right? Now, of course, this doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a chest. What if this were an ender chest, right? Like, we could just, throw all these items in as if it were an ender chest. We'll put it into the one that I've got here. Oh, good, we got copper. We're low on that anyway. There we go. Everything's being processed back at our main base. Why? Because we're chunk loaded, of course. So hopefully you guys can kind of see what direction we're going in here. We're going to need to do a couple things before we can get started with a really large build to do this, but I think overall it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be back in just a few minutes once we've got a few more resources to start playing around with. Alright guys, so we're getting pretty close to the wrapping up point with this episode, so I told Muggs, I'm like, yo, you want to come back for the next one while we finish up this project? Because I thought it was kind of like, it would not be cool if Muggs came by and we only worked on half of a project together. So I think we'll have him back next episode too to kind of help me finish up this project. But I want to show you how I'm going to handle the whole frame moving problem. We also got a stable age, which I'm happy for. So how am I going to do this? Well, I've got a little gadget somewhere around here. Probably going to be... Well, I'm going to have to make one, I think. Let me put together what I want to do. So I'm going to need some stone. And I'm going to need some redstone. And some iron. And then finally, I'm going to need a piece of glass. Should be pretty obvious what I'm making, I think. I think Muggs is going to go through all my stuff and steal things.
Just moving stuff to the proper chest.
Thanks. I'm terrible at that. So I've got a turtle.
Yeah.
Here's the plan. I've got a turtle. So come back with me to the mining age that we made and somehow made stable. I just kept making minor alterations. Yeah, let's see. Mining age 4. Cool. Finally got one that seems stable. I really hope it is, but it seems that way. Let's set up a similar little contraption to what we had before. Okay, so here goes nothing. I'll be right back once I make it. Alright guys, so here is the plan. We're using a turtle. And if we design it something like this, okay, what I should be able to do with my turtle is go ahead and place the block, okay, which will be the mining well. Then we're going to sleep for 5 seconds. And then what we're going to do is, remember the mining well is gone, what's going to happen is the mining well is going to go ahead and store all the items it collects in the nearest adjacent inventory, which happens to be the turtle. So we've got this turtle here. The mining well is going to go ahead and dump all its ingredients into the turtle, everything it collects up, and then the turtle is going to go ahead and place all those in the chest above it. So it's going to cycle through the first 10 slots in its inventory, just do a drop up, which will stick it in the chest above. And then it's going to select slot 1 again and dig, which will break the mining well. So what we've got here is an automated way to place the mining well, collect everything, throw it in the chest above, and then break the mining well. Let's see what happens when I run this program. Boom. Everything went to the ground, okay, and it all got stored in the chest here. 5 seconds later, he's going to dump everything into the chest above him, and then break the mining well and place it back in slot 1. How cool is that? And look, the chest above it has everything. Okay, now of course I have to make sure I have my frames laid out properly, and this is not a final end-all be-all of the frame machine design. It's just a rough draft, okay? But then we can go ahead and move the frame forward. Cool. And once that's done, okay, and I'll have another one here, we simply run the process command again. And ta-da! It clears to the ground. It's collected a bunch of stuff. It's going to go ahead and throw that in the chest above it. And then it's going to break the mining well. And it's ready to move again. And then we run process again. So this is a proof of concept, if you will. It's basically a rough draft of how the design is going to work. Look at that. We've already got a bunch of cool things. Nice. Now this is, of course, going to be expanded. I want to have like a nice long line of these. So I could have like 20 of these mining wells on a line, if I build this properly, of course, and they can all dump into ender chests above them, so it's going to be a bit of a complex build. And then of course I want a platform that can move at least in 2 dimensions, maybe in all 3 dimensions, but eventually I want that platform to just be able to move across the landscape and make a giant mess of this place. I mean, just a massive amount of drilling going on. So this is a rough idea of what's going to happen next episode. When we come back then, Muggs and I will be working together again because, like I said, I want him to be around when I finish this build, and I should be able to put it all together next episode. Between now and then, we'll probably work on doing some crafting. I'm going to need a few more of these turtles. So basically what we need for every one of these is we could do this with a pneumatic tubing and a piping system, but I think I want to do it straight over to the, and look at this, it's so daytime out here. It's awesome. I love having 2 suns. We're also going to need to basically have a bunch of ender chests. I think that would be like the least laggy way to do it. It would probably be the most efficient. So it'll require an extra few ender chests, but that's no big deal. I have plenty of blaze rods to make them. And then we're just going to need the 1 tesseract. We're going to have some of the conduits and stuff, and we'll hook them all up to the mining wells. And it'll just be a big line of the same exact thing we have here. Conduits, chests, turtles, mining wells, ready to rock. What do you think, Muggs?
I'm surprised nobody's thought of this.
Can you imagine how awesome this is going to be? Like, imagine I've got like 20 of these, right? We can drill down 20 across in 5 seconds. Like, and 5 seconds seems to be a good amount because it's like as soon as those 5 seconds go by, you can see it when it runs. Like, it's done, dude. It's ready to go. Like 5 seconds is the timing to do. Now we might need to bump that up a little bit. I don't know if having 20 of these in a row will cause any kind of lag or anything, but I imagine they wouldn't. And then, you can see, look, as soon as it finished, it was ready to go. So it's not collecting any more stuff afterwards. So 5 seconds is totally the way to go. And if we really wanted to be crazy, like we could really be crazy, we could do like even more complex stuff. But I think this is a good starting point. But, at the very least, we could have this guy doing this. I don't think there's any reason to have anything more crazy than just one horizontal line. Like, we could have, like, a square, like a 5x5 of turtles, but then it just, I don't think that's necessary.
You'd have to move it 5 blocks at a time then.
Right. So there's really no point. Like, we might as well just do one line at a time, and then we're good to go. So,
How much power do those mining wells take?
I have no idea.
Yes, I know it's not that much.
I don't think it is that much, no. I was talking to CPW the other day, and I said to him, I just came up with a design that's gonna make you nerf something in Buildcraft, just like you did with the filter or the filler. He's like, what is it? I'm like, I'm not telling you because I want to build it first. I think he might nerf mining wells a little bit after he sees this.
And people thought they were totally useless except for when making pumps.
Nope. I knew there was a way to get it with frames. It took me a while because I purposely showed like the issue I had with, I was trying to figure out how to get it to work, and just moving them on frames doesn't work. They have to be broken and replaced every time, which is why I came up with the turtle thing. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so this is, again, proof of concept. This is not the way things are going to work in the end. So I'm going to break everything here, and then we're going to come back next episode, like I said, and do a little bit more work on this project. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Let's Play series. Hope you enjoyed Mugs coming by. I think it's kind of neat. I kind of enjoyed having just, like, you know, one of my fans come by, hang out. I hope you had some fun, Mugs.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. So yeah, I hope you guys in the YouTube audience enjoyed this. I think it's going to be pretty cool having you back next episode just to, you know, hang out for a bit. For now, we got to wrap up though. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and leave some comments. Let me know what you thought about having a special guest in the Let's Play. I think it went well. I think it was kind of fun, but I want to hear what the YouTube audience has to say. So go ahead and leave comments and whatever you want to let me know how you liked this. All right, guys, signing off. Mugs. Thanks for coming by again, and again, awesome job with the Child's Play charity donation. You're awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's good charity. Lots
is.
of people help out, so it's good.
Awesome, man. All right, guys, take it easy.